Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dark Souls walkthrough. In the last episode we cleared the Darkroot Garden, and in this episode we're going to be heading into the Darkroot Basin. But before that, we have to talk to Andre.
My, that's a rare ember you have there. I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that.
Indeed.
Well, thanks for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
So now that we've given the Divine Ember, which you remember we got in the last episode, now that we've given that to Andre, he can now modify weapons to become Divine Weapons, which are weapons that do magical damage and will scale with faith. So if you're a miracle user, they're pretty handy. But we require a +5 weapon in order to do that. And if you'll see, I actually have some extra souls because I consumed some souls in order to get some Titanite in this episode, because I need to upgrade my Claymore. My Claymore is quite lacking.
Don't get you.
And I require a few more souls. Where are my souls? Actually running a little low on souls, I need to get some more.
Well,
but we'll be fine. Reinforce. And there we go, we get it to +5. Very nice. And now we can reinforce it. As you can see, we can reinforce it to a Divine Claymore. Now that looks really good, but thing about elemental weapons to know, I think I've said this before, but elemental weapons are not as effective as you might initially think they are. So yeah, don't be fooled by the big numbers. But Divine weapons are pretty good. And you'll see there it requires green Titanite shards in order to upgrade. Green Titanite shards are something we will be getting later, but for now there is no way to get them, so alas, we cannot do it right now.
this is the old church. It was abandoned in favor of the church that you passed through. There are paths leading from here to two forbidden plains, Sen's Fortress and the Darkroot Garden. They attract all sorts of lunatics. No one as cultured as yourself. It's fine to be undead, but keep a level head, eh?
Indeed.
Sen's Fortress is an old proving grounds built by the ancient gods. It is the only route leading to the great Anor Londo. Of course, most fools can't even find their way into that fortified death trap. But they won't stop trying. Take that bumbling Seranian.
Indeed, Seranian, aka Siegmeyer. So that is the place that we saw across the bridge, Sen's Fortress. How do we get in there? We'll have to wait and see.
I know little of the Darkroot Garden, although I've heard rumors of a divine blacksmith who resides there. Those who get stumped in the catacombs seek him for divine weapons.
Indeed, so divine weapons. Thing to know about divine weapons, the skeletons that we saw in the early game in the catacombs, they actually will regenerate, like I said before, I believe. But yeah, they will regenerate, so every time you kill them, they'll just get right back up. Until you do either one or two things. Either you kill their necromancer, which will prevent them from getting back up, or you use a divine weapon, which will prevent them from regenerating, or reassembling, or whatever. So yeah, so that's another use of divine weapons. It's pretty handy. But that being said, you don't have to do that, you can just kill their necromancers, but if you want it to be easy, then I recommend using divine weapons. They make it much, much easier.
Don't get yourself...
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so now that we have our Claymore upgraded, let us go to the Darkroot Basin, which, if you remember, is that other path that we didn't go down. Now, the Darkroot Basin is quite a short area, so I might lump this in with the next part, but we'll see. But yeah, the Darkroot Basin, not much to really explore there just yet, but it will be important later, so remember this location. So, here we go. And as you can see, this place is quite large. but it's a lot of cliffs, so be careful to not fall off. If you fall off, it pretty much guarantees your death. Here we are, the Darkroot Basin. And over here, another Titanite lizard. Come here, come here. Hiya. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Get some large Titanite and some twinkling Titanite, and we is all good. Now head over here, and down there is an item. Leather armor, a longbow, and feather arrows. Excellent. That is the hunter gear. So if you didn't start the game as a hunter, that's how you get their gear. Pretty nice. Now there are two ways to go here. Left, which is the way forward, and right, which is a way that you should go first. So I'm going to head that way. Now down here, there's an item down there, but there's also an old friend. Here he is. A Black Knight. This one wields a Black Knight Halberd. If you're lucky enough to get the Black Knight Halberd drop, you basically win the game there and then. The Black Knight Halberd is a ridiculously powerful weapon, but you have to fight through this guy just to get it. Oh crap. And be sure not to fall off. Oh, ow. Okay. This one's tough. I always have the most trouble fighting this one. At least without a shield. Ow! I don't know what it is about this one. I always just find him so tough. Yay! 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 Why do I always play so bad on camera? Ah! Fuck. See you back there.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Guess what lies ahead? Only one way to find out. Must keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can see. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me.
Okay, we're back here. Now, this time I've got him. I promise. I've got him this time. You ain't gonna get me a second time, you bastard. You bastard. Come on. Come on. Come on. Watch that. It's a double swing. Can do some good damage. This guy's a lot easier with a shield, I feel. Seems like only one swing is good. So go in for one at a time. Like there. Nice and patient. Oh Christ. Thankfully the geometry saved me there. And he's down. There we go. Nice and easy. Oh, and there we go. The Black Knight Halberd. I will not be using that because I don't want to just like walk through this game with everything dying for me. But yeah, the Black Knight Halberd, that is our first Black Knight weapon. It is very, very strong, and it basically, as I said, makes the game easy mode. So if you want the game to be super easy, then go ahead and use that. But if you want the game to have challenge, I recommend against it. Anyway, this item, probably the most used and most useful and best shield in the game, the Grass Crest Shield. I don't know if I'll be using it. Nah, I won't. Or should I? Maybe. Although it does mean that I can't roll. It does mean that I can't roll very effectively. But yeah, so basically what this shield does and what makes it so good is that while it doesn't have the best defensive stats ever, what makes it so good is the fact that it gives you extra stamina regeneration, which is very, very handy because it means that you can dodge more, it means you can attack more. It's just very good all around. So yeah, most people use this in their builds, especially light builds. Anyway, in here, bonfire, very handy. And if we go further down here, you don't need to go down here just yet, but this is kind of interesting, and we might go down here later. Down here will take you down to a rather dangerous area that I'm not actually going to talk about just yet. Long story short, don't really recommend going down there. You'll probably die. So yeah, don't recommend that. So back up here. Now, if you remember last episode, we got the Watchtower Basement Key after the Moonlight Butterfly. It's time to see what exactly that does. So over here, there's an item over there, and you can see in the background there, those are golems. And way in the background, which you probably can't see, there is, you can see it way in the background. That is a Hydra. Hydras are very large and very strong and will shoot you with water blasts. Now you can avoid it by going this way, staying near the edge. And again, I recommend you do so. You don't need to kill that Hydra just yet, and I don't recommend you try. It's pretty tough. Need giant. I have no idea what you're talking about. Now in here, this is the Watchtower Basement Key door. Now, watch the right. Hello! He's right on the right to greet you. This is Havel the Rock. He hits quite hard, as you can tell. But yeah, this is Havel the Rock. He is a knight that fought alongside Gwyn, and he is basically like all about physical strength and very opposed to magic. And his armour is some of the strongest in the game, and his weapon is a dragon's tooth. Yes, it's pretty awesome. So can you get his equipment? Maybe not. But if you kill him, he will drop something that is very, very useful, and I will definitely be using it. So, time to kill him. So, he doesn't have very complicated attack patterns. They can mostly just be avoided by just rolling to the side, as you can tell. But they hit extremely hard. So if you get caught in one, you'll likely die. So try not to get caught in them. And occasionally he'll just stand there, almost like trying to trick you. Now, the best way to kill him, just like the Black Knights, is to use backstabs. So that's what I recommend. So get behind him, backstab him, and there we go. He takes quite a bit of damage, but you can fight him earlier, especially if you have the Master Key, but he will take quite a while to kill in that state, so I don't super recommend it, but it is possible. There we go. With a few backstabs, he'll go down nice and easy. But again, watch out for his swings. They will do a lot of damage, and if you're not armoured, they will likely one-shot you. But again, he's very slow and he has only one attack pattern, so he's very easy. Come on, come on. Smash. Smash. Oh, no. Oh, smash. There we go. Almost died, but we got him. And he drops Havel's Ring. So, Havel's Ring, what does that do? Well, it boosts your maximum equipment load, which is very, very handy. It actually boosts it by 50%, which is an enormous amount of equipment load. A lot of builds include this because it lets them wear so much heavier armor. It's crazy. So yeah, I highly recommend that you use Havel's Ring in a lot of builds. Unless you're using a particularly light one, but yeah, in most builds this is very handy. So, can I fast roll? Yes, I can. I can actually have gloves now. Excellent. I doubt I can have this. Nope, can't have that. What's 99 divided by 2? Maths. About 24.5, something like that. Yeah, probably can. Yeah, can't do that. Alright. Well, I can use gloves now, so that's nice. And we're back in the Undead Burg. So you might be wondering, how are we back in the Undead Burg? Aren't we in the forest? Well, if we head up here... You remember there was a door that we encountered much earlier in the game? Well, here it is. This is behind the guy who kicked the barrel. at the stairs leading up to the Taurus demon. Again, another instance of Dark Souls' impeccable level design, just looping round and linking back into itself perfectly. It's fantastic. So anyway, so now, where do we go from here? Well, the answer is we need to go to where the Hellkite Wyvern was. So, just over here. Down here, and Mr. Hellkite Wyvern isn't here. Let's just get him to come up. Let's just get him to appear. There we go. You can see him flying overhead. Here we go. And in here, this is the basement key. This is what you picked up at the gate leading to the church. So down here is the next area. But I am all out of time for this episode, so I will wrap things up here, and in the next episode we will venture into the lower Undead Burg. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.